we start, I want to ask you this. What do you actually want? Do you want to lose weight or do you want to lose fat? Because there's a very clear difference that a lot of people do not know. So losing weight is literally just a reduction in total body mass that includes all components of body weight, fat mass, muscle mass, bone mass, water, and stored glycogen. So everything that you have. And when you lose weight, the scale goes down, but it doesn't tell you what you have lost. For example, dehydration or skipping a meal can cause quick weight loss without losing any fat. Whereas to lose fat is simply just having a reduction in body fat mass specifically. This means decreasing the amount of stored adipose tissue in your body whilst ideally preserving lean muscle mass, bone density, and water balance. Fat loss changes your body composition, making you leaner and improving muscle definition even if your body weight doesn't drop that much. That's what I did. I got extremely overweight like a year and a half ago, and I now weigh the same, but I am way leaner and I look bigger. So that is literally what I done was a body recomp. Now I want you to think of your body like a backpack. Losing weight is like taking anything out of the backpack, clothes, snacks, water bottles, even the frame. It makes the backpack lighter, but you might need to take out things you actually need. Whereas losing fat is like taking out only the excess rocks, brackets, the fat you've been carrying around. You keep all the useful gear, muscle, water, bone strength, but drop the dead weight. So now you know the very important difference between weight loss and fat loss, and I want to tell you why I stopped counting calories and how it affected me. So this was me before my gym journey. As you can see, I wasn't genetically lean. It's just skinny fat. And this is me now, a lot leaner, a lot bigger. Now, this is when I was like counting calories and I was just eating anything as long as I hit my calorie goal. So I was eating protein bars, couldn't really think clearly, and as you can see right here, I had a lot of stubborn fat in my lower stomach. Whereas now, the exact same pose, you can clearly see way more muscle definition. I look bigger and I lost a lot of that lower stubborn belly fat. And yeah, I I want to tell you this honestly, calorie counting is straight up a waste of time for busy people. Tracking calories takes your focus off the thing that matters, which is real food that keeps you full, which is what I done. All I cared about was calories. I didn't care about what I was eating, and that's why I kept on to that stubborn fat. Now, why do you want to not track calories and focus on something else? Because hormones drive fat loss, okay? These are the six essential hormones for your health and weight loss, and we want to optimize all of these. These are the two main ones, I'd say. Stable insulin equals burning fat. You burn way more fat when you have stable insulin. And if you have better control over your leptin and ghrelin, that means you can control your urges to snack and you just generally feel less hungry. You don't need anywhere near as much food when you eat whole food. So, let me give you an example. This is like the sort of stuff I used to eat, like processed stuff like this. It kind of catches you off guard in the label, be like, oh, 20 grams of protein, this must be good for me. But when you actually look in the ingredient label, it's got all of this, like random stuff, sunflower oil, just like nasty sort of ingredients you don't want in your body. And processed foods equals more cravings and more inflammation. And also, these like additives cause hormone disruption, which is not good either. This is the opposite of what we want to do. We want to optimize our hormones, not to destroy them. So I want to talk about satiation, okay? This is probably one of the most important things for fat loss. Eating whole food, particularly nutrient-dense food like beef and eggs, allows you to stay fuller for longer. The more full you feel, the less you snack. And the majority of snacks are very carb heavy. Crisps, I'm trying to think of stuff on the spot. A lot of protein bars, like majority of stuff are very carb heavy. And this is something I want to go over is the snacking cycle. Basically, this is like the scientific version. I'm going to dumb it down. Um, this is exactly why you crave junk food. You smash a high carb snack, your blood sugar spikes like crazy, and your body pumps out insulin to deal with it. But when this happens all the time, your cells stop responding. They're basically saying, "Nah, we're full." So even though you just ate, your body thinks that you're starving. You feel hungry again, and you keep eating more. That's insulin resistance, and it's one of the biggest reasons you guys get stuck gaining fat. Now, the less you snack, the less you spike your insulin. When your insulin is spiked, your body can't get energy from fat cells efficiently. So this is why you lose more fat when insulin stays low. Think of insulin like a light switch. When insulin is on, spiked from carbs and sugar, your body's in storage mode. It stores food as energy, mostly fat. When insulin is off, your body flips into burning mode. It actually taps into your stored fat for energy, meaning whatever exercise you do, your body will use fat as energy, literally burning the fat off your body. Now, if you're constantly eating snacks throughout the day, especially carby snacks, that means your body really gets a chance to burn fat and it's always stuck in storage mode. When you eat mostly whole foods with protein and fat, like eggs, beef, chicken, fish, avocado, insulin will always stay low. That creates longer windows where your body has no choice but to use stored fat for energy. Now, let's go all the way over here. So to lose fat, you must eat whole single ingredient food. This is the most efficient way to lose fat, is what I personally use, and it is by far the healthiest way and quickest way to lose fat. So, if you're buying something at a store and it's got over 4 ingredients, like this, let's say you want some crisps. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ingredients, don't eat it unless you're picking all the ingredients yourself. You've got every ingredient individually and you're combining it into one. If you're doing that, that's great. If you're buying something that comes with multiple ingredients in one package, do not eat it. That's more than likely going to be processed and not good for fat loss. So this is the meal framework. It's genuinely such a lovely way of eating. You can eat your wild salmon, you can have lovely beef and eggs, fruits, avocados, homemade potato chips, organic, forgot the name of organic yogurt, organic honey, beef, olive oil, chicken, ghee. Like it's all really nice foods. Now, there's only 2 reasons why I wouldn't want to eat like this. This is literally exactly what will make you lose weight. If you just cycle eating these foods, you will lose weight. Sorry, you will lose fat, and you'll probably lose weight as well. There's only two real objections to not wanting to eat like this. And one is that it's too expensive. Another one is that it takes too much time to cook. Now, a lot of these meals don't actually take a lot of time to cook. I mean, maybe potatoes and stuff, but you might not want to spend time cooking, and you may not want to spend as much money on this food, which are valid objections. But let me ask you this. I'd argue if you spent the money you use for drinking and eating out to buy healthy single ingredient produce, the cost would be a lot more similar than you think. Meaning, like, you probably don't keep too much of a track on how much money you're spending on drinks and eating out, and it would probably cost around the same, if not even more, than what you'd spend on these foods that are actually serving you good rather than bad. So, yeah, I want to ask you this. What is more expensive? So these are two valid objections, right? But I want to ask you what is more expensive? Staying exactly where you are, being unhealthy, basically just gradually worsening your health, not feeling confident in yourself. If you're older, there's more chance that your kids are going to end up unhealthy like you, and that's something you obviously do not want. You want your kids to be healthy. And you really don't want to struggle with everyday activities. I know many older people in my family who struggle to walk because they eat way too much food, unhealthy food. Uh, but this is the negative. This is the result of eating how you're eating. If you stay in this path, you're going to end up in this loop of bad situations. Whereas, if you invest some more money into your health, you will lose stubborn fat at the cost of some unhealthy snacks that you enjoy. You'll become happier and more confident by investing a little more into your nutrition. Your brain fog clears and you have more energy throughout the day at the cost of some meal changes. Now, I'm not trying to bias anything. I'll let you guys decide what you think is more expensive. Uh, but let's move on. So, right, we've got a little bit to cover here. So, you may be wondering, when should I eat and what should I eat? Okay, now I know I said that like carbs spike your insulin, but carbs are necessary before workouts to ensure that you can work out properly. Now, not all carbs are bad. You can eat healthy carbs. Potatoes are great carbs. Banana and rice. Rice is good. Good for working out. But yeah, we literally just want to eat carbs before workouts, maybe some after if you're feeling like it. But basically, when you eat carbs before your workouts, your body stores them in muscles and liver as glycogen. During high intensity training, glycogen is your main fuel because it can be broken down quickly into glucose for ATP, which is your muscle's energy currency. Without enough glycogen, you'll fatigue sooner, lose strength, and performance will drop. Now, when we're trying to lose fat, we don't want to lose muscle. We want to keep gaining muscle, which is why it is important that we perform in our workouts to ensure that we're growing. But yeah, apart from actually no, let's go over the pre-workout scenarios. So if you're working out in the morning, have something lighter like yogurt with some raw honey. This is going to be fast digesting carbs, or even a banana. Banana will do it as well. But I would eat something like this before workout in the morning, something light. But if you're working later in the day after you've done a long shift, or sorry, you've had a long shift, I would eat something a bit more satiating to like give yourself energy from all the work you've done and enough energy for the workout as well. So in that case, I'd have like beef and rice or beef and potatoes, something like that. So that's just a rough guideline of what you should eat before workouts. Now, most of this diet, as you could probably guess, is going to be fat and protein. Now, fats are the building blocks of hormones. Cholesterol found in animal fats, eggs, and dairy is the precursor for sex hormones like testosterone and progesterone. Healthy fats, omega-3s, monounsaturated fats, reduce inflammation, which improves hormone receptor sensitivity. Dietary fat supports the production of cortisol, which is your stress hormone, and aldosterone, fluid balance, both essential for training recovery. So, hormones are very important, and throughout eating very fatty and high protein foods, we will ensure that our hormones are optimized. Now, protein supports hormone production as well as signaling. Proteins are made up of amino acids which form peptide hormones like insulin, glucagon, growth hormone, and IGF-1. Adequate protein supports thyroid hormones, which regulate metabolism. Protein stabilizes blood sugar, which keeps insulin, ghrelin, and leptin in better balance. So everything sort of goes hand in hand when you try and eat this way. All your hormones get optimized. You'll feel on fire as soon as you start eating like this. But yeah, all of these foods, sorry, all of this diet essentially optimizes your hormones, makes your muscles bigger, and helps you lose fat quicker. Now, I want to go over again what to avoid. Let me reiterate it. Packaged snacks with long lists, like so. Don't eat anything if it looks like this on the back of the label. Preservatives, additives, and seed oils, all this stuff. Yucky, not good for you, inflammation, we don't want to be eating that. And quote unquote healthy processed foods like protein bars is like the worst or the most obvious example. These are sweets that are being marketed as healthy options, which they are not. It's all business. They're just trying to get you. They're just trying to get money off people who think like calorie and tracking is the only way to lose weight. It's just a big marketing scheme. But yeah, now I don't want you guys, sorry, I do not want you to rush into this diet, okay? Everything good comes from doing it gradually. Now, this is exactly how I tell all my clients and how I personally implemented this new diet strategy without feeling any cravings or else like neglecting myself with food too much. So, this is exactly how to minimize cravings whilst adjusting to this new way of eating. Step one is list everything you eat daily. So everything you eat on an average day, just write it down. Anywhere, notes, paper, just write it down. And I want you to rank them by how much you enjoy them from 1 to 10. So, rank them based on how much you enjoy the food, rank it based on how much you miss it, and rank it based on how much you think you'd crave it. Those are the three big things that take all these into consideration when rating them. I don't want you to do this right now. If you're seriously wanting to do this, do these steps right now. Now, step three, every 3 days, swap the lowest rated bad food with a healthy option. So let's say that your unhealthy option is a bag of crisps or sweets. You'd want to swap it out for a fruit of some kind. You sort of want the snack to be somewhat similar. You want the healthy option to be somewhat similar to the option that you're eating right now. So I would pick up some kiwis or bananas instead of crisps or sweets. Or uh, let's say you like oven chips, pre-made oven chips, which usually have bad stuff in it. Swap it out for homemade chips. Just make the chips yourself. Be way healthier. Like changing into this diet is not hard whatsoever. You just have to change what you're struggling to get over with a healthy alternative that's somewhat similar to what you're eating. Okay? So gradual changes equals long-term success without cheating your stress. It's not stressful at all, I promise you. I'm not trying to stress you whatsoever. And that's exactly why you implement this every 3 days. Very gradual. So if you were to try and climb a hill to the very top first time without training for it, you'd probably fail. You'd probably actually give up and just go back home. Whereas if you do it in gradual steps, if you go to like a quarter of the way up, then halfway take a rest, then 3/4 take a rest, and all the way, it's no bother. So you get what I mean? Gradual implementation allows you to be consistent with this and not quit, which is the main thing. Now, I know I've thrown the word around diet a lot, but I don't believe this is a diet. We ate this way for thousands of years. The benefits are more energy, more clarity, and more balance. And I can tell you for a fact, you will never want to go back to the way you're eating when you commit to this for even 2 weeks. Like, you will not want to go back. You will enjoy this way of eating so much. And the change is like rapid. I wish I could click my fingers. I can't. But let me go over everything again. Let's recap. So we want to eat whole single ingredient foods, nothing with 4+ ingredients in it. We want to like make everything ourselves. Beef, cook it yourselves. If you want chips, make yourself some homemade chips. If you want a yogurt, get uh like fatty yogurt and some honey, mix it together so the yogurt isn't sour. You get what I mean? Just do it yourself. Okay? It may be a little bit more effort, but doing it yourself will make your food 10 times more healthy. Okay? And I want you to also skip calorie counting. Do not count any calories whatsoever. You do not need to count calories. You will lose fat if you just eat what I've the list of foods that I've given you. Okay? I also want you to use carbs smartly. Before intense workouts, make sure you eat carbs to make sure that your training is as efficient as possible. And yeah, make sure you stick to your fat and protein for fullness and hormones. When you eat protein and fat, you'll feel fuller for longer, you won't have an urge to snack, you'll eat less meals throughout the day. We want to eat big meals, but less meals. Foods that keep us full, allowing our insulin to be low as possible throughout the day, so we're burning more fat. Now, like I said earlier, swap unhealthy foods gradually. Don't do it all in one go. Every 3 days, swap out for I don't think I mentioned this. Swap it out from the food you enjoy the least to the foods you enjoy the most. So, like by the time you're at the food that you enjoy the most, you'll be like, oh, I may as well just change it. I've changed everything else, and it's going well so far. That's the idea behind it. But we also want to add simple cardio for fat utilization. Oh, I skipped that. Wait, one second. Yeah. So You want to fast from morning till noon as frequently as possible. Okay. Um, Cardio helps maximize fat as fuel, especially fasted. Our body taps into fat burning mode. Our energy for running is going to be fat, so we're going to lose fat and use it up as energy. So yeah, fasted walks in the morning or post-workout walks enhance fat burning without exhausting your schedule. So it could be a 30-minute walk in the morning, 20-minute walk after working out. It's nothing too crazy. You don't need to run, by the way. Uh, I know those pictures to get somebody running. You don't have to run. You just have to walk. Walking burns fat way more efficiently than running, and it's easier. So it works hand in hand. But if you genuinely follow this framework, fat loss will happen naturally without stressing about your schedule. It just comes naturally. You just have to make your own food, make sure it's healthy, make sure you buy it yourself, all the ingredients single-handedly by yourself, and you will lose fat faster than any other diet you tried. I promise you. Like this is a hard promise. You will lose fat so like steadily and healthily. Like it's just a great diet. I can't believe uh, not a lot of people are talking about it because it's the best way to lose fat. But yeah, that is everything. If you follow this diet, if you follow this framework, you will lose fat without having to like stress about it because you've got a busy schedule. You don't want to stress about food. You just want something simple, something you don't have to spend hours doing every day. Just a couple, like 10, 20 minutes sessions of cooking throughout the day. Uh, and that's it. That's all you gotta do. I promise you, if you want to lose fat, this is the meal plan and the framework for you. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.